States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scott Shepherd, Ron Blowers, Bill Slater, Mike Ballmer.
Dave? Okay.
No public input?
Yep.
Yes, John.
Can we reserve a little bit of time at the end of the meeting for public input, since it's kind of a curious situation right now? If it'd be all right with the board.
Yeah, I don't care.
If there's anything.
Yeah, okay. Yes, John?
Okay. What I'm going to tell you about is this is a situation where if you saw one of your friends or neighbors having his car broken into, you would certainly say something or help them out. Tonight, you have it written up as an executive session. I'm going to just real quickly tell you that you can't go legally into an executive session for, among other reasons. I'll just give you specifics here. This is explicitly prohibited. The board cannot go into executive session to discuss the shared operational costs, tipping fees, or maintenance expenses, the rules, hours of operation, or general logistics of the facility, contract negotiations, in quotes, or agreements with another town, in quotes, as a generic blanket excuse. If the board makes a motion to enter an executive session, they must explicitly state which of the strict legal grounds applies. To discuss the proposed lease of real property because of public knowledge would affect the value would be an example. They cannot simply say they are going into executive session to discuss the transfer station. So there's specific rules, laws, etc. And I'm telling you right now, with the video, with the people that are here witnessing it, as a friend, a former supervisor, and a council person, I'm asking you, when the motion is made to go into executive session, that you vote no, you have discussions with the public or among yourselves and allow the public to comment, or not, as you see fit. But you're discussing town funds, town monies, and a contract based on taxpayers paying something. It's not the board's money. You're supposed to represent the citizens and the public in general. And you see these folks here. I haven't heard anyone talk about supporting going with a separate one, and maybe you've already made the decision not to. But I'm asking you, please do not go into executive session. It will clearly be a slap in the face to the law. It's against the Constitution, town law, so many other areas, and you'll be putting yourselves in a real jam. And I mean that sincerely and in friendship.
Any other public input?
To his point,
No, go ahead.
to his point, I think that the general consensus of the taxpayers in the community realize, regardless of the intricacies and the costs and the conflict, whatever, listening to Steve Tomlinson and his talk on our last meeting, and seeing the recorded meeting at Hope, I think what the taxpayers would like to know is, can we move forward, or will we move forward with the contract for Hope? Steve said there was really no room for negotiation. I don't know about that. That's part of the executive meeting that you would have. But I think as taxpayers, for a couple dollars more or whatever the situation is, my vote, if I had one as a taxpayer, is say, I think it's a very prudent, economical move forward, and I'd like to know that we're gonna do that so that we can take away some of the conflict and some of the misspent funds in the town, so we can clean that up and move forward. And I think that's the best way. I'm confident that that's the best way to move forward for this town, fiscally and practically.
You want to go into executive session?
Well, I just want to say something. Right now, I'd like to come up with a resolution to accept the budget that was given to us. Only because we need time to prepare to get more information. Just for everybody in the town, and come up with a plan if we need to, if it's gonna cost us more or less, but we need to have more detail to it. And that's where I'm set right now, is I'd like to have a resolution to accept that budget at this time, and we have a year to figure out something else if we need to.
The budget, I'm sorry, the budget
You
from
mean a
Hope?
transfer agreement?
Transfer agreement, sorry,
Okay.
Okay.
that's my feeling.
Yep, I was on pretty much on the same page as Scott. We don't have a plan at this point, and I don't see how it's gonna save us money. This, we're just not set up for it at this point, I don't feel. So,
Okay, so Scott, you're making a resolution to accept
Our
that
future
transfer
intentions are, next year is to try to get something started so we can have our own infrastructure.
yeah, well, we can work on that, but at this point, we don't have a plan, and before we go, headlong into something else, more than we already have, I feel it's,
What about the trucks?
well, that's another thing. When we voted, we brought that up when we voted to purchase it. It was with the exception that we can sell it if it doesn't work out. But we felt it was a good deal, so that was our feeling on that. Didn't want to miss out, but we feel we can get our money back on that.
Mike had an idea, you had an idea, Mike, of,
Yeah,
go ahead.
we don't have enough, our Hope doesn't have enough dumpsters, so our thought was to use our dumpsters in our truck and maybe get a better price on what we're spending already up there. That way there, it would lessen their guys' workload and it would help us with our fuel costs.
That makes sense, but I think a cost analysis
Yes,
of practical use of dollars, money spent,
right.
the cost of money.
That was gonna be one of our questions that we were gonna probably send to Steve, would be if we used our truck in our containers, that would eliminate the truck price. We don't really own the truck, but the Hope does. That would eliminate the $10,000, and that would eliminate the fuel charge, which is another $12,000. And the town would save, it would eliminate the maintenance of the truck. It would probably save us around $27,000.
Okay, but I'm looking at
This
this
is
like,
this is just an idea.
oh no, it's an idea, so just to my opinion on that. If you can sell the vehicles, you don't have them, let Hope run the transfer station as they have, it's been very efficient. If there's one, I understand the C&D dumpster, yeah, maybe you wanna say we can give that to them. But if you looked at the price of what you spent on the trucks and the dumpsters, and then you wanna turn around and pull money out of what you're gonna pay, Hope it'll save us. If it was about savings to begin with, then why did we buy the truck and the dumpsters if we were trying to save money? So I feel that if you can sell the vehicles and the dumpsters, if you say you weren't gonna take a loss on them, because that's why you felt it was a fair price to buy them in the first place, then turn around and sell them and make a profit on it and put it back into the funds, and you've made a profit on it.
That's something we need to consider, and that's what we're trying to look at. And is, it went to $80,000 this year, what's it gonna be next year? What's it gonna be the year after? What's it gonna be the year after? If we don't have our own infrastructure.
And that's what you work on next year, or at the meetings as a town. We come together as a
We try
town
to work on it this year,
it.
but we're short on time.
Yes, So,
On the subject of the truck, if I may.
Selling the truck and then having to get another truck, this way it's being used in the meanwhile.
It's an illegal transaction that you went into to begin with. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
It's an illegal transaction because you didn't have a plan filed. And I know you can say it's a use, I brought this up in my reading the last time I was here. I know you say you can use it as a town vehicle, but in the resolution, going right in the face of the illegality of that transaction as a town, even though the board all approved it, it's against the procedures of starting a transfer station. That in and of itself. The other thing is, if we keep the trucks, we got depreciation, we have loss of money, and as Bonnie said, I think if it's on paper, I'm the kind of guy, I gotta see a spreadsheet, and I'll make one for you. But I'm just saying, there's no practical reason to keep it because you already have it. And it was an illegal transaction.
On the,
We don't know, I don't know, Steve, would you consider that we have our own dumpsters up there?
I'm only, I can't speak for the board.
Well, then, would you take that back to the board?
I would certainly
And,
take it back.
give us- We'll have a resolution
we
for
just-
the next meeting.
We bought we have a brand new truck. I would jump on it, but that's just my opinion. And put your money back into your budget and figure out, we're all for working together and moving forward. If you want to continue and have meetings in the future or next year, it might
What are we
take.
gonna do about the continuous problem with cooperation?
I don't know of a problem with cooperation. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mike,
Those are two separate items.
I know.
I mean,
That's-
and let me just
No,
correct,
transfer
no, let me
station.
just correct something before you guys do continue on, because you just said it's 80,000 this year for the transportation, it might be 90, it might be go to 100, where's it gonna go? It didn't go that way. We raised it $5,400 in the last 4 years. So you just misspoke and gave wrong numbers. It's not that much of an increase. The other increase you're talking for is for sand and salt, the loader usage, and the fuel. That has nothing to do with the transfer station. We made that very clear that those are separate items, and that's not what we're talking about here tonight.
Okay.
So if you say we raised it $20,000, that's false.
Okay.
It was $5,400, and that's an increase over the last 4 years.
Then if it's separate items, I would like to have two separate contracts, and I think the board would too.
the truck, if I may,
Sure.
just to, Scott, you and I talked,
If it's two separate items,
Phil, it's not, it is, it's all broken down. You can take out anything you wanted to. I don't understand where we're going wrong here. And
what
you don't
if
understand.
happens, Mike, what happens, Steve, if we,
Just
by
because
the-
you're
by
signing
the end of next
the
week,
agreement doesn't mean you have to
we
do the same and salt. We've made
we
that very
pay the
clear.
bill in March, the $80,000, and we come up with a salt and sand for ourselves someplace? are we
Why
gonna-
would you pay the 80,000 if you're not gonna do it though?
Huh?
Why would you pay the 80,000 if you're not gonna do the sand and salt?
Our payment's due in March 1st, and we don't know if we'll have something accomplished by the end of next year. Are you gonna give us back the $10,000 for the fall? Or
For next year?
if
Wait,
if
well-
we were to build a sand and salt someplace,
I think we're way off topic though.
we,
It has nothing.
The resolution has already been passed, am I correct? Thank you.
Just do this.
My resolution is to accept the contract for
We're willing
the
to work
scene
with
for the
you
garbage,
100%.
for the transfer.
Yeah.
I didn't bring up it, the rest of it we're still working on, we don't know yet, but just, I just wanna be upfront and say I wanna keep on doing it. We, regardless of what's going on, for all the years that, my feelings, for all the years that we've been working together, we owe that, at least that to you, or to the town hall. Cause right now, there's nothing gonna happen, so we have to have that. And we're still working on the rest of it. But that's what my resolution is tonight, to accept for the
I have a
garbage.
question.
The garbage.
Are you make a motion to make a resolution to present at next week's meeting?
Next week's meeting, yeah.
Okay, so you're making a motion to make that resolution to accept the transfer agreement, and we'll have that resolution for next week's meeting. And you can vote
Because we have to have
on, you can
that.
vote on the resolution.
I thought,
All right, who's seconding Scott's motion tonight? Tim?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So
I thought they had the resolution, didn't they just agree to it?
they've lost me in this.
I thought you made the resolution.
Yeah.
Ron seconded it. Now you're bifurcating it and breaking it up into an argument or a discussion over the
Well, I didn't have a
resolution.
written
She has to
resolution.
write a resolution for next week.
I have to write the resolution
Oh,
so
okay.
they can
All right.
vote on
And
it.
then that has to be posted.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he made the
I'm a
motion.
rookie.
He made a motion.
Me too.
To go ahead with that resolution.
So we still gotta write the resolution and put it on the websites where everybody can read it.
Sure.
Then that way when we have public input in the beginning, if you don't like the resolution, you can say something about it.
I have to clear up the truck deal though, because when Steve came to the meeting and said there was $170,000 or whatever that they paid out of the pocket, he went directly to Phil Snyder's supervisor, told him the answer was, we have no money. So he said, all right, we'll let you pay it off at $10,000 per year. Correct? Okay, well, you know it, but that means if tonight, if you passed a resolution tonight that said you're withdrawing from that contract, the yearly contract, you would still owe them $30,000 or $40,000 over the next 3 or 4 years for your half of the truck that sits up there right now. And anything going forward would be a different number conceivably. I just want to make sure that's cleared up because,
Oh, I understand that.
okay, I wanted it on the record, so
We understand that, yeah.
thank you.
I'd like a question. We come to the meetings, now this is a month, and it's been 3 meetings, one in Hope here. They present numbers, facts, research, and data that they present to everyone. Tonight you come and you project to Steve, what can he do, Hope do for you? Well, where are your numbers and your research and the data that you've collected for what it is your desires are going forward? You present nothing. I see there's never an exact number. It's always a general 10,000 or blah, blah, blah. Do you have it written on paper and a budget or something put out for the public to see what it is that you actually want and want to pursue?
That kind of goes to the same place where I'm looking at now you're talking about a plan for a transfer station. Does anybody even has anybody even come up with an idea of what it's gonna cost? Or where you're gonna get the money from?
Not a plan for a transfer, just look into it.
We're working,
Or maybe looking
looking into that.
or
Okay,
different
we can't-
municipalities, or working with Northampton, or working with somebody else. Just, we're looking into that, just to see where,
That's a project, we're just working into that.
we're not saying that we are doing it, we're
But
just
we already
looking into
bought the dumpsters, we already bought the truck, we put the cart in front of the horse. And that's the way that's why it's not, where did the money come from for this truck? Cause everybody says we're broke. And Phil, you said that in one of the meetings, we don't have any money.
Nobody said we're broke.
But where did the money come from for that truck and the dumpsters?
It came out of our fund balance.
So we do have money then.
We have money, yes.
Okay, all right, because I never see the budget and what you have in the savings account, wherever you guys put the money.
That money came out of the fund balance and $10,000 that was in there came out of this budget.
Not in this budget.
Philip, are you aware of anybody, any entity, are they for or against this idea? Like the county highway superintendent, any entity, board of supervisors, anybody? Have you gotten any correspondence from anybody that has said that they do not agree with what you folks are doing?
No, we had no, not at all.
Nothing. Is there anyone in town that you've heard of for this? Are your Benson town people, is a majority for what you want to do?
Well, the majority's not here, I don't know, I can't answer that, I don't know.
Has anybody said they want this going forward? Any of the townspeople for this?
I've had a few people say they would like to see it happen. Speaking of names, no.
Now, you mentioned also talking about the sand and the salt. Is there a problem with having sand and the salt in the best place up to Hope?
There's problems with the highway departments working together, that's the problem.
Isn't that a personality kind of a
It's up to the
difference?
highway department, so I can't,
That's a great point, David. Is it a fiscal or a personal?
Yeah,
Because I don't care about
Yeah, because
personal,
we're
because we
talking
all
to
have to
the
deal with
business.
personal.
It's petty, it's childish.
So it's not fiscal, so I don't care. You guys have to deal with it. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
spent 35
I-
yered in Manhattan.
believe me.
I know what it's like to deal with
I've
conflict.
tried, I've tried.
Mike, you're a good guy. Maybe you're too good.
I've tried very hard, but it gets me nowhere, so it's to the point with the little games that's been played.
Well, you know what? We all have that.
That's life on life's terms.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah,
If it's
Yeah.
fiscal,
I
Yeah,
understand
and you
that.
don't pick up your toys and walk away.
Yeah, no, I
It's all
didn't
about
say that.
conflict resolution. You
Yes,
two have to sit down and have a conflict resolution. It's about the principle, not personalities. And you can't run a town on personalities.
no, you can't.
So,
On top of,
so you're gonna go make plans to move it because you guys just don't get along. That is so childish. It's so childish.
on top of everything else, be clear on this. Steve always talks about how he has no control over that highway department in the sense of telling him what to do. He's right, because that's an elected official, Zach. In this town, Mike, as appointed supervisor, the board is the one that, and the board should be discussed. No, the board needs to discuss that with Zach.
let me correct you. He's
Cor-
appointed, but he has all the rights of the.
Not true. You can't do that. You can't give him those rights. No. I did. You can't give him that authority. It's right in the original resolution by Dave Rogers, I believe.
Because
Other than the personality, getting away from that problems between highway department is one thing I'd like to look into. I think it's a good idea to try to sand salt up here. I don't, to me, you have to have a plan. If you can't recoup, if it doesn't pay for itself, we have to come up with a plan. If it doesn't pay for itself in, say, 5 years, then because of the ongoing cost of everything going up continuously.
I mean, just look at the cost
Yeah,
of
I-
driving up and down 30
Right.
just to go
I
get
think it would be,
product when you have it here in your own town.
it's not, I don't feel like we're not trying to get away, in my mind, I'm not trying to get away from sand salt as a whole. I'm talking about convenience, approximately what, 20,000 a year we pay sand salt for that service, for the loader and everything. You know, if we put a building up and, you know, the fuel savings, they're already, say, for example, if it's in Upper Benson, you know, not at the town barn, obviously, there's no room there. But, you know, if they're already up there, they're empty, they can load up before they put it back in the barn. The fuel savings, the time, if it'll pay for itself in 4 or 5 years, I think it's worth it.
Do you think you're gonna save money by putting the salt up in Upper Benson?
I don't know.
It's 4 miles from here
Yeah.
and 6 miles to
You're gonna
Hope.
spend more money,
That's simple
Mike, you're gonna
arithmetic.
spend more money traveling to Upper Benson than you are going up to Hope, up Route
And all
30.
uphill.
And you gotta fight the
It's not
elements.
ideal, in an ideal world, no. I wish we had a piece of property down there.
No, I just wanna say,
Yeah.
I think you boys should go with the deal that they're giving you. They only raised it $5,000
Well, I mean, we're gonna have it this year.
over a 4-year period. And like, getting a bad deal, in my opinion.
I'm not saying, we're not saying it's a bad deal.
You're
We're just
getting,
looking to try
actually,
to-
you're getting a good deal.
Yes.
Our whole intention is to save the taxpayers of Benson money.
Yes.
That is our whole intention.
And
That's why we're
I-
trying,
and
that's
I-
why we're trying to do something.
And I applaud you for your intentions, but I don't think you're going about it the right way.
And as far as the town barn, our goal is to eventually find a place to put in the town barn, because we're in the floodwaters. We don't have enough room for trucks. We can't build a shed for equipment. We really need to work on having a new.
We went through this referendum about 12 years ago,
No, I know
maybe
that.
15 years
Well,
ago, and the people voted it down. They did
You're
not
correct.
want to move it, and they didn't want to change the town barn.
That's right.
And that's not that long ago. And it was overwhelmingly defeated.
Well, that's one of our intentions, to look into some of this stuff in the future.
I'm with you, Phil. It's clear times have changed, costs have changed, environmental issues have changed, needs have changed. You know, I think in the grand scheme of things, in the long term, not next year, but maybe in the long term, a good, comfortable piece of property, if it can work out, or work something out with Stevie Wonder over here.
Work something out.
Yeah, I mean, sharing has always worked from when I was a kid to an adult.
So Scott, the motion that you came up with for the resolution to accept the contract, which I couldn't agree more with, that's include, correct me if I'm wrong, that's included $10,000 a year for the lease of the truck, correct? In that?
Yeah, that's part of the.
Right, so
Yes.
I really think sitting on that kind of money with the truck and containers for potential is I just don't think that's a good idea.
We should get our money back as quickly as possible.
How would you sell them?
Auctions International.
There you go, there's an answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've sold many pieces of equipment for all good prices too.
One of the citizens asked, this gentleman, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Steve.
Okay, Steve brought up the fact, he asked, since the words have come out at different points from the supervisor that the town is broke, has no money, he said, where does the money come from? And Phil's answer was the general fund. When any money comes in, for example, recently a $75,000 grant comes in. Anytime that money comes in, the accounting people up at the bookkeeping service up at Hamilton County, they have to be advised by the chief financial officer, the supervisor. They have to amend the budget to show that as revenue. Any money they take out of the general fund has to be shown as revenue, because otherwise the public, like you have no idea where it came from, where it came in from, why it even exists. It can be spent without anybody knowing. So,
That's called the transparency.
There you go.
Which we don't have.
correct.
Yeah.
So anytime,
Yeah.
anytime monies are brought in or taken out of the general fund, you have to account for them on the budget, because you're taking money out of savings account or cemetery account or whatever. You have to put it on a line as revenue, and then it comes out from there and it's accounted for. Right now, it's just being spent like it's free money, and that's the taxpayers' money, and they have no accountability or transparency.
And when any town has a CD, or like we got money given to us to take care of our cemeteries, you have a CD. We had to make a special resolution to have the CD. You have to list them. You have to list they're an asset.
Yeah, I understand that part. Yeah.
And if you do something with them, you have to have the resolution to move the money. And so there's a complete chain all the way through.
Anybody else hasn't spoken yet and wants to?
No,
As far as I know, Ron, there's no approvals that have ever been done for the property on Washburn Road to build anything there. So a salt shed in this day and age, with environmental, you just don't put a pile of salt there.
No, absolutely.
That would cost a lot of money just to put a salt shed there.
I really think that property, as we go on in the future, I think that property should be, we go through a proper process and have it appraised and see what it's actually worth. And the only lot probably around there that's even in Lac Lake area, so there's no more lots in Lac Lake. I think it'd be something we would consider selling if we could find something else down this way to build a new garage or something. So, but it's something we need to discuss. And
Selling it makes sense.
yeah.
That property,
I wouldn't be surprised that property is worth quite a bit of money.
Selling it makes a lot of sense.
But we want to sell it and be able to purchase someplace else down this way that's out of the flood zone, and something we can build a halfway decent garage and keep our equipment safe. We still want to go talk about the executive session for personal stuff.
Yes.
Before you do, what was the reason for this meeting? What was the posted reason for the meeting? Tonight's meeting?
It was to go to executive session and talking with Mike about some stuff going on between Hope and Benson
A personnel issue.
toward that, on the contract.
No, it says on the website, it's to discuss the transfer station agreement.
Exactly.
It doesn't say anything about
That's
personnel.
what it was, and Mike wanted to talk about some things that's going on, that's personal stuff, before we,
Well, he can, but that's why you have to announce it. If you're gonna go into executive session right now, you have to announce that that is the specific reason. Okay.
And that's also the only subject you guys can discuss.
we know that.
So,
Okay.
Then we have to go back into, you guys go back
Come back
into
in, or where you want to go?
session, okay?
I hate to be a pest. What is wrong in your mind, Phil, specifically with the contract that Hope has put on the table in front of you? Specifically, what don't you like? I'm concerned.
I think it was the jump up to $80,000, I think it was,
From what?
from, it was 6 or 57.
But that included some repair, or what was?
That's not, it's the transfer station contract. Are we talking about the whole thing or just the transfer station?
We're talking about the whole
The
thing.
whole thing last year was
So
$60,000.
we went over this in the meeting. The difference is, the part of the difference was the $5,400 for transfer station.
That's fine.
Increase. The rest was for loader usage. We've had a lot of problems with our loader. We've had major repairs done to it this year, and the highway superintendent figured out a cost analysis to replace a replacement cost on the loader, and that's where that number
That's
increased.
what you explained, I
Yeah, that's
understand.
exactly what.
Yeah.
And the loader is the thing that they mix the salt and sand with.
Yes, I understand.
It's part of the
Why is
contract.
that a problem when the numbers are on the table? Is it unfair, or?
We're just looking in to see if we could save money, that's what we're, our main
That's
objective.
not my question. A contract is a contract. If you want to get a better contract, go to another vendor. I mean, that's business 101. Or you negotiate the contract. If the contract is not negotiable, then it is
Well,
what it
apparently,
is.
apparently it's not negotiable, so.
Yeah, I mean,
We're trying to negotiate, and.
you need
they're not
to
moving,
rent
so-
a loader that benefited both of you. You split the cost, fine. Tipping fees or whatever went up, $5,000, fine. So that's the difference between the 57,000 and the 69,000, I'm making up numbers, whatever the spread is. What is the problem? Other than you don't like it, which is fine. But as a taxpayer, I'm scared that you're gonna go spend some money that you already have illegally, which I will say over and over again, and it can be reversed.
It's not a problem, we're, like I say, we're trying to save Benson tax.
How? You don't even have if you don't know, if you're gonna save money, how much is a new transfer station gonna cost? I have no idea.
Yeah.
How much is this gonna cost? I have no idea. We're doing our homework. We got September 1st is the drop dead date.
Thank you.
Do we have any figures that have come in yet from anywhere that you can start sharing with
Mike is
people?
working on that right now, he's got some stuff over at Curtis Lumber, but this is all in the future. We're all working on trying to have a new town barn and find a piece of property, maybe sell the property up there. This is all stuff that we're just starting to talk about and get organized.
But we've already
Our
borrowed,
time is running short for this year, so.
but we've already spent $60,000 for a truck and dumpsters. We got the cart before the horse.
Thank you. Motion to go into executive session to discuss issues with Mike.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did we pass the motion that Scott had on the floor?
Yes. We did already.
Thank you.
So the transfer station's all set? Good.
Yeah, a resolution will be presented next week at the meeting. The numbered resolution I think you need.
Can you have a resolution if
Away in the long term?
You hear that from Tracy?
Town board votes?
They deliver salt to us.
No, I haven't heard that.
But it, you know, it's probably gonna go away. So why keep talking about it? Go with hope for the whole damn thing another year. Maybe we'll find something, get a big $1 million grant from the state to build a new town barn. But I doubt it. So,
Are you actually saying that you're thinking about putting salt down at the town barn again?
We have a salt and sand shed there.
Unless I'm
You
mistaken,
can't.
there
It's
was,
already been-
there was
Yeah.
a determination made on that.
Yeah,
We can't use that. That's why the salt was taken away.
yeah, that was part of when we were on.
The salt is inside the salt. bin.
No.
No, you
that was
cannot
why,
put it there.
Because it can't be put there. There was a determination made,
By the state.
Yeah,
6 years ago.
I remember that.
You were supervisor.
Yeah, I remember that, and that's why it had to come out of there because it was leaching into the
Yes.
wells or something.
That is not our
Yes,
intention.
the drainage system, the land cannot facilitate
Yes.
the drainage system that would be required for any amount of salt.
And already the town barn well has been contaminated.
Yeah, the town barn.
That was
Look, I've lived next to
40
that
years
town
ago.
barn for 55 years. I know where the bodies are buried. So don't attempt to get an alphabet agency in there to give you you're not recording this, are you? Don't get an alphabet agency in there to start looking at it. So,
open up a can of worms.
yeah,
Exactly.
Expensive one.
Yes.
exactly.
I think you already had.
Thank you. We need to go into executive session and then we'll come back in for a few minutes. You guys need to leave for a few minutes while we go into executive session.
Sure.
Next week, we'll have a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign contract with Hope, and other than that, is there any other public input?
There's a communique, an email. And you were on the email list.
We have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? Okay.
Well, the board doesn't either then, so they'll.
Sadly, the board doesn't either.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
I'll second it.
I'm ready.
Aye.
Aye.